evening and good morning, my beautiful, beautiful Sierra Leonean. Another week don't come we can discuss social media review. Waiting and burning on social media this week now with the talk of. And today with me, I get none other than Mr. Kutubu Koroma, aka we own Professor, na voice of Sierra Leone. Instead they can give in own small sense and put in what they and una the viewers themselves get for come later on join we give with no sense. Today the question be what you wanna think, but Professor Lumumba, Patrick Lumumba, speech we gave yesterday about anti-corruption, about corruption na Sierra Leone. And also today, then they celebrate the world internationally, then they celebrate Anti-Corruption Day. Today, December 9, 2018, and with President retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, he gave a wonderful speech today against corruption. And it talk of this now in plan how for fight corruption and waiting at the team them where corruption mean na the country. How corruption they hold the country bien. It talk of corruption where people and feel say corruption are them personal wealth, na source of personal wealth where they go inside government office, and they also they feel say a privilege, and they talk of corruption not good, corruption for the international people themselves. If they see say you can't get corrupt, they come for can do business inside with you. And corruption, they deprive the people, the citizens of Sierra Leone. And for the longest time, now one of the things they were not they make Sierra Leone go, which is corruption. So are they encourage you all for share to group them, share, call, accompany them, and be part of this discussion. Because this is a voice of Sierra Leone, voice of the people. Every voice matter, regardless of your view. Regardless of how you see them, come, let we talk about it respectfully, and let we see how they make, because it's all about how not to for just talk about the problem, how for solve the problem. So before we go any further for listening to the president's speech, I will bring in my own big one. We own big one with na voice of SALONE with Professor, as we call him, because he gets so much knowledge about the politics of Sierra Leone. So it's none other than Mr. Kutubu Koroma. I bring you in, sir, make you all your own floor and talk what you get for talk right now.
Thank you, Lady Farima. Thank you. Very good opening speech. Oh, you make it. It's so fine. Corruption, like you correctly say, where the world community don't they look at. To me, it really don't become a canker worm. Where don't eat the sense of value of society, and where, as a matter of fact, not irresponsible for the decline in every aspect of life. The fundamental question we'll get to how we go able to fight corruption. But it totally unfortunate that we'll get an alejo for going to SALONE than Professor Lumumba for go preach to people then the dangers of corruption. In as much as in work where you go do is commendable, but it's unfortunate that over 50 years of independence, state today, we stuck in the cocoon of corruption. People don't embrace corruption as a way of life. To them, now the only way this way they think say they go able, get ahead in life. Well, of course, no, that's now a totally no. Because corruption as a matter of fact, now also a human rights violation. Perhaps people they look at in that spectrum today, not only way they suppress the citizens, them you they deny them free speech, you they hold fraudulent elections, all that a human rights violation. But corruption also, in fact, to me, not the key that the center that, because when you corrupt what you do, or you run a corrupt system, what you do, you they deprive the citizens them of what they're supposed to forget. You deprive them of good education, good water supply, good this, good road supply, good virtually everything, because you alone don't grab everything. And so when you don't do that, the young humanity now you don't ride roughshod over. So it will let the world pay attention to this. let we take just like how we affect terrorism. Let we also look at this in another part of terrorism. This because, like I say, it impede human development. So I'm glad the way the world on the look at it. I hope say at the next session of the General Assembly of the United Nations, hopefully the 74th session, I hope say this go the top on the agenda how for tackle corruption. When we don't the other people don't come in, we will begin come up with solutions of how we should go see for solve corruption. So back to you, Madam Fatima.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And corruption, like I say, for the longest time, it don't deprive, and the president talk on that. The president really, I was impressed with his speech, and I hope say not to just talk, because we don't want to say outside the entire cow na they eat. None of that, enough of that. We get for fight corruption, we get for recover, and even talk of the anti-corruption and the vibrant young mind, because when you have the same all recycled politicians for a long time, they still get the same mentality. They still get, but when you put new people there in there, then they see the world different. They don't wake up and say enough is enough. And let we see what will they do for this country. Let we see what will they do for. So I will ask the technical team in the back for please put the president in speech. It's going to take about 5-6 minutes. We go cut off the national anthem at the end for make go too long. But let people listen and let una pay attention to the word them of President Bio. And this now the word them when they don't talk their word, then they hold them to their word, then they because it's very important as a president when you talk something. Yes, you're not going able to do all things, but that's not your intention. So we go for the do follow up. We gladly because we want let SALONE go before. We want let SALONE better. We want let SALONE people they're able for live the basic decent life. Let them able for go hospital, good hospital where they go not to broko where two people they lay down on one bed, two picking they lay down on one bed. You get for carry your own bed sheet go where they go. Now you get for do this like school them broko school them, they neglect the years of neglect where people and like the president say where people and they take like their personal wealth like not then it's only for them, then they go with the intention of politics say now for go gently themselves. So let not talk about create. Let we all listen together the president's speech. Then we go put real sense inside there. Then we go open the phone live. Let una self come and we get boku thing for use as example where Sierra Leone they don't affect Sierra Leone and none other person not go able to do better than Mr. Kutubu Koroma. So I ask the technical team for please play the SLBC. This is from Sierra Leone Broadcasting Station where President Biogi today the 9th on corruption. So Mr. Back there, technical team, can you please play the video for we? Do we have a caller already? We have a caller. Okay, we don't. Okay, so we are just going to play this video and on all let we listen together the president and let we agree within the president talk about corruption. Then we go come back to una.
Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. The 9th of December every year is observed as International Anti-Corruption Day, and Sierra Leone this year is also joining the rest of the world to fight against corruption. Well, here is a statement by His Excellency the President Julius Maada Bio in commemoration of International Anti-Corruption Day.
Fellow citizens, In Sierra Leone, those who indulge in corruption see it as a source of wealth, a source of privilege, and a route to or a demonstration of power that they often abuse. Much more worrying is that across the country, political leaders and ordinary citizens engage in corruption shamelessly and with arrogance and impunity. Corruption in all its forms has a cost. It has real human victims when critical infrastructure like hospitals and schools are not built, and when citizens are denied their rights and equitable access to service delivery. Credible foreign and local investors whose investments create good paying jobs for citizens avoid corrupt countries. Corruption also stalls economic development, compromises ethical conduct and national values, and violates the fundamental rights of citizens. Above all, corruption undermines democratic institutions of government and the stability of a country. For the foregoing reasons, corruption is a national security threat. During the election campaign, I strongly advocated that we fight and fight relentlessly against corruption. Immediately after winning the presidency, I kept my promise to the people of this country by setting up a governance transition team to review the governance landscape we are taking over. Their report identified serious deficiencies in governance, financial management, and accountability. They advised thorough forensic audits and the setting up of an independent commission of inquiry. The legislature has now ratified the setting up of an independent commission of inquiry that will work thoroughly, independently, and transparently. As president, I also appointed a new, young, and vibrant leadership at the Anti-Corruption Commission, who has injected new energy, increased public confidence, and restored faith in the Anti-Corruption Commission. Therefore, it is refreshing that this year, Sierra Leone has passed the Control of Corruption indicator in the Millennium Challenge Corporation scorecard, scoring 71%. We have moved 22% upwards, moving from 49% last year. This is the country's highest score in the Control of Corruption indicator since the introduction of the MCC scorecard in 2004. If we are to develop as a nation, we must draw a line under the perverse, arrogant, and reckless looting of the state. Corruption is a fight we must win. It is a fight we will win. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, a few days ago, the International Monetary Fund also gave Sierra Leone a resounding vote of confidence by bringing us back into program. They recognize our compliance with a series of program-requested reforms, such as the Treasury Single Account, legislation on revenue from the extractive industry, and the removal of much abused fuel subsidies and duty waivers, among others. We went beyond their requests by undertaking other economic reform initiatives, including the biometric verification of public workers, the introduction of a transparent fleet management policy, and a deeper and close look at procurement processes. International partners who had withheld budgetary support from the past government, such as the European Union, DFID, the World Bank, and the African Development Bank, have now indicated their confidence in our credible management of the economy by reinstating budgetary support. We are ready to do more as a government, and we are going to do more. We have strengthened the hand of the ACC to investigate and prosecute cases of corruption without fear or favor, in accordance with all existing anti-corruption laws. We will use international anti-corruption agreements to ensure that persons who steal Sierra Leone government funds have no places to hide or enjoy their ill-gotten wealth. We are undertaking reforms that will bring more predictability and transparency about business processes, taxes, costs, and the business climate in Sierra Leone. We will continue to deploy science, technology, and innovation to leverage greater transparency. Early successes encourage us to expand its use from a biometric census that has unmasked 10,000 ghost workers to dozens of missing government vehicles. Greater emphasis on corruption and ethics education through such courses as social studies in schools will help orient our next generation to their obligations with regards to corruption. Ethics and integrity training for our public service officials will be instituted with a view to minimizing instances of corruption. Hospitals and public institutions must craft service delivery charters and mission statements that state clearly their obligations to the public and display the cost of services and expected services. Fellow citizens, fighting corruption and supporting the fight against corruption, no matter who is involved in corruption, is good for Sierra Leone and every Sierra Leonean. I thank you for listening, and may God bless this, our great republic.
Don't come back again. Una don't hear wetin the president say. And this is very, very encouraging, very, very hopeful. Una let us say they say a new direction, and then they go the new direction. They don't tell the president, don't talk, say we must win correction and we will win corruption. And they don't put and say, they therefore teach the people, they therefore begin teaching and school them on social awareness. Because one of the things then, we're picking and they go school, they therefore begin learning things and they from the young age, they don't know say corruption na thing we good because corruption na cancer na with society. So I want to pass on to me co-host tonight, Mr. Kutubu Koroma. What do you take from what the president say? Because me, I see a good thing. I see like as a leader, as the #1 man in the country, I say it don't do well. I'm glad for that. So what do you think of Dande? What do you think of his speech and what are your evaluation? But all what he says, because you know he said they don't raise from 49% this year for the card. They don't raise from 49% to 71%, so they go up 22%. So which is a good report. So I'm glad for Dande. So what do you think of that speech there, sir?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We don't hear wait till the president talk. We don't hear it. Which is really fine. The word fine, a good sound bite. But the question there is now commitment. How committed are we to fighting corruption? We just stay no more for sound bites, for propaganda, or now this fighting of corruption. First, it starts with building with institutions and back.
Okay.
The way it happened though, we get all the branches of government working. We get with parliament to work, it function. We get forget the executive work, and the executive get for no waiting at their own limit within the constraints of the constitution. They get for no waiting that they don't waiting for do waiting for. We get for remember the executive not get a legislative power, they not get them. Okay, because as we talk about time for corruption, also the power they hold, the exercise also, na part of the corruption in that. Not to way put the money in a pocket, or not to corruption very wide, even in governance. The administration therefore endeavor for stay within the guidelines of what the constitution asks them for do. They cannot go beyond that. The legislature also, the parliament also get for understand what is their own role. And the primary role under the constitution, that then they charge of laws, and that means that they're the supreme body, that then they charge of laws. So that makes them a supreme body. Meaning that they get the responsibility for holding the executive accountable. Then they do that through investigations, calling for hearings them. From time to time, they get for call for hearings them. And follow up. Now, the third branch of government also get for understand their own job. Now, for midwife between the parliament and the administration, meaning that they get for look at the laws them. Laws that we not drive with constitutional law, the supreme law, get for be struck down. The judge they get for understand the facts, say, or the court system get for understand, say, now then the bastion of the constitutional liberties of the citizens. When all stuff fail, that side enough for fail at all. The judge must hold people that are accountable under the law. And under the law, it will be equal justice, it will be color blind, it will be a personality blind. Not for say, oh, now the minister, that, oh, now the president, that, no. Everybody for submit itself under the dictates of the law. Now, therefore, we the start. Say, law be the institutions, and let every part of the institution stay within the guidelines of what the law permit them. Just like waiting, the great French jurist, Mr. Montesquieu, say, he said, we citizens, we self, that me and you, let we not exercise power, will not get. When the law not do that also. Because even the citizens say they can violate, they can check upon themselves for exercise power where they not get. He said, let we citizens not do that. The government not for exercise power where they not get. Me and you as citizens will not for do that. So now they first they begin first. Let will be the institutions they first, and let everybody work within the guidelines of the institution. They will begin to go to the other area. So I'll come back to you, man.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. The corruption, like how you say, it's all angle of you get for attack. I understand you say if for attack the institutions, and he only talk of the thing, but then he say they don't put biometrics in place. Whereas because we don't talk on that day on VOS, one of the ways for do that, they let you know say the worker, because say long time ago they get that diamond voucher na frito. Where they get people in a payroll, where then they pay, we're not support, we're not even there, we don't die. You remember that voucher gate? Where they be make that day? I'm not sure you remember that day because maybe still get sense then and they where they do voucher gates, where Akibo bets, they expose a lot of them kind of stuff. Then they all done there. You know, feel say this which way it go come inside all done there, small by small, or you just tell them say it's not only the money where then they loot, but also the other thing them when they do as law, for follow the law of the constitution. Now that they try for make the people understand, I guess, right, big brother?
Yes. Okay. Again, the corruption again, like we see, law or be very careful, law not limited to just stealing. Even the job when they give wait they give for go work. When they give for work.
Yeah.
If you suppose for them now give place from 8 to 5, where you go, where you sign up, you for be seen doing the work. You can't linger. Right. Me and you in America, we know when once you don't clock in, for the day on the phone on the job, the day on the phone. They do anything. For that moment you day on the clock. Everything, in other words, that productivity, they want productivity. Right. So if you don't clock in, they do the work, they linger out. Also, that's a part of the corruption. And they at the end of the month, they receive salary. You receive a salary for work you not do. And you don't store productivity, you don't store them. Yes. And standing they hold the country back also. When you go again at office, wait before you do your job, you get for explain, they give you something for before you do your job. That also not corruption, and you're supposed to provide service free of gratification, none of what take place at all not. So in other words, that the mindset that they for the thing is that yes, we need the laws for you, but then the mindset, with attitude, with mentality, with perception, also will go a long way for now address corruption. The mindset. Like you use the word now, I used to say, who side the tie cow, for it. Yes, we have to understand, say, if the cow want eat that grass, let the cow make sure say he bring his own grass, let not eat the Commonwealth in own grass. That's not good at all, not good. So all of these factors they are so now I make with it say, yet waiting the president talk, the statement and a very cosmetic, I like me fine. But the question is, where is the commitment? And then the fundamental question we will ask the president, you willing for also submit to the will of the Congress, to the Parliament, you willing for me to say when the Parliament tells Mr. President not do this, you willing for me to say you go abide with that, because also we need for look into audits and then go sack join the rule against you, go sack them. Because some of we students and that just take 1 minute but very quickly. That famous Hastings robbery will be take place in 1969. A lot of people they don't know about that diamond robbery will be take place. That SLST and a plane with them hijack with them go to that diamond.
Yeah.
Now, one of the judges when we look at that case, the Justice Ikoro Idugu, he looked at the case. He said there are a lot of flaws, and then he raised alarm. When he raised alarm, what they do? They deport them. Straight away, they defend the place one at the next seat that they plane for can't go back to Nigeria. The judge will cast down the even at the magistrate Donald Macaulay. Donald Macaulay retired at a very relative young age because he don't make no. One we serve your brother, I don't go call his name. One we cook brother himself. Now they make money at the expense of the country. So nothing not come out of that. So, like I said, they deport the judge just because the judge raised concern. And we also be aware of the fact that now SALONE judges who have been retired early, then they force you for retire, just so no more than they hold that as a magnitude over you. So when you know say you don't want to retire very quickly, you already get for do waiting in government while in the so therefore, if we get for fighting corruption, they can talk to the institutions they get for be very robust. They get for be seen functioning, not for your make the pronouncement no more. Because pronouncement anybody can talk. Okay, you can talk. The action, once it concerted action, the president said or the administration get for be willing for submit to the laws of the country also. He get for understand the fact that he not get a legislative power. Now the parliament has SALONE, now he get legislative power. And anything what he want to do, whether within the context of the law, if we clear that with the parliament. If the parliament tell us, Mr. President, not do this, obviously for the good of the country and for constitutional purposes, let it submit to that. Now that means the citizens they divide the government. The citizens they get a parliament, they get an executive, and then they get a judiciary. So this is the way I'm looking at it, Madam Fadima.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for explaining that to me. But like how I say again, like I say, it's not only lip service with a watch and see, and but we glad for the speech because it say anybody when they catch for corruption, like all them description, the way you don't get without fear or favor, then go prosecute under law. So we they watch. Like I say, not to lip service, and he said new direction. So we now want 360 for going at the same circle. We want 180 degrees. So we they watch, we gladly. But also we get a big professor. We come this Saturday, Saturday, we talk on corruption. And boku people that don't hear me and talk, a very eloquent man, a man of so much inspiration. We get a lot of knowledge. If people then can only listen to him, very inspiring man, Professor Lumumba, and he talk on corruption in Sierra Leone. But we not get the speech yet where he talk, but we get the written speech where he writes. And let we ask the technical team for just read a little bit of it. And then let we put we on sense, and then I hear in social media, people in the talk say, in fee being too expensive. The question be, when I feel say, when them pay that Monday, when I listen to what he talk, was it worth it? Was it worth it for the Sierra Leone and then pay? This is just an assumption. We don't know if not true, but now waiting they go on social media. This government paid boku money for a speech. I think we got with first caller. Let we take the caller quick. Let we see what thing for say, because again, this is not the voice of Sierra Leone, and everybody in voice matter. So good evening, caller. Waiting at your name, please, and who's you call from?
Yes, madam. This not Justice calling from China. How you doing?
Hello, Justice. How you doing? Good morning, sir. And waiting at your own take on today's topic.
This topic is very, very important for the country. First of all, I want to talk about Mr. Kutubu first. One of the corrupted person first, in a sense. If you see somebody to do something, then you're ready for talk about the person, then you say I'm not going to call him. That's corruption right there. Now learn for prosecute them openly. When you see somebody do bad thing, not just go to map, they begin the Congo. So bring and come to justice. Bring and come openly. Say in name. He just talk about the area and way the talk. He say he not go call that person in name. That's corruption. He hide corruption. So which means they try to hide the person where they do the bad thing. Now, let me go to the main point now. For me, are they against of government appointing anti-corruption officer? Are they against that? In a sense, if Mr. Government or any of them, let's say right now na SLPP, they're in governance, right? If any of the SLPP ministers or let's say the president, let me just say this, he corrupt. If we say the anti-corruption, go bring and come to justice right away. No. He not go bring and come to justice right away because now they appoint him. Then go on keep them secret until then go out of governance. Then when the next one they come, they're ready for bring them come out, which is not right.
Okay, Justice. So are you saying the anti-corruption is useless? In many words, that's what you're trying to say.
No, it's not useless in a sense, but this is the thing what are they trying for advocate on. This is the thing what are they trying for talk here is where governments they appoint anti-corruption. Okay. To me, it make no sense because if Mr. Government then thief, that man they go hide them, not go bring them come out right away. Okay. Until the next government come back, then the next government go say, okay, no, bring them people and they will be don't corrupt. We want when people and corrupt, like for instance, like how this government they do right now. If anybody corrupt, regardless who that person is, whether I'm Mr. President, I'm corrupt, may them bring and come to justice right away. They're not for wait till you go out of power. Right away for facing justice.
Okay, that's true, Justice. Thank you so much. But
so which means me, I suggest, the people of Sierra Leone, they need to appoint the anti-corruption person. Wait before they for power with all kind of power, like as the president did. So in the instance, if president do bad, anti-corruption say this president you don't corrupt. Unalo olam. The people for support the anti-corruption instead of the end president. Now just example they make.
Okay, Justice.
That's my new contribution.
Thank you so much, Justice. Stay tuned because I'm going to give Mr. Kutubu chance for answer to what you say. You say he's one of the corrupt because call somebody name. I don't know what's the reason why. So let we give him make you give him chance. But one thing I want to say is the president used the word, and I'm holding the president to this word, without fear or favor. Because anti-corruption, like you say, it will be independent. And then they feel, say, a lot of times, people and they feel, say, because this person give me job, I have to be loyal to them in certain way, so you go look the other way. So, Mr. Kutubu, I just want to respond to waiting Justice just talk, and if you get anything to add to that.
Well, in the first one, if in accusation of me being corrupt, then I will let and give in law, you get what they call burden of proof or preponderance of evidence. When he bring evidence, he can present that to viewers as so Kutubu in corruption, they can take her from it. So we'll skip that. No, address that since you not bring evidence in. Now, what I go want to support them on the first, and I've been on to say this every now and then that we don't need an anti-corruption commission. Every now and then I stand on this threshold and they repeat again what we need as SALONE. Why should they try for big with institutions thing? You know, for bringing good governance. What we need a free, fair, fearless and robust press. We're very patriotic enough. We patriotic people there. People them, the only way Mr. Kago be dropped yesterday, Mr. Kago make an open statement and say, by God, if our VOS now will take money from nobody for let them influence them. In other words, can't give them money in a corner for let them talk good for them and let God bless them for that kind of a principled position we take. When we get journalists, we also put the country before say, you know what? Because the journalists or a free press, remember, this is now also part of governance because from the press, the citizens they get for know what the government they do, where they inform them accurately and properly and correctly and honestly, where they make them know. Like I already used medictum and also the website a day, I can therefore extrapolate the thing the way they happen and apply in the country. And the scenario, we see how the press stay behind Mr. Trump. When you get a very vibrant press, and then you get a justice department, because if, like I argue the fact, if we say we in a society where they function on the fundamental edifice of the rule of law, the ethical foundation and moral compass on which this society they evolve, the justice department, the locomotive, the engine, everything on the justice department runs the rule of law. Because when all is said and done, now, if you don't get a justice department, you don't get a court system. The court not they operate over by itself like that. We therefore operate with the justice department. Even as I said, this case where they on now on Mr. Trump, the justice department is heavily involved in it because every move where Mr. Miller makes, the reference to justice department and they pick them up. So now there are two things that we need first: a free, fair, fearless, and a vibrant press. And a very aggressive department of justice department. We go coming for help with NTR for make sure say we maintain the laws there, we prosecute people there without fear or favor or without your status. If once we get NTR, then we don't need anti-corruption commission, man. So back to you. Send them back to you, man.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for explaining that. And like how you say, your reason, and like how the last caller talk of, he said that SALONE no need anti-corruption stuff. They just need a free and fair press where we're able for right without no fear or no punishments where they do what they do or say they go afraid, say they go lock me if I write the truth. And also if you get the courts we get for able for do the law without no favor or without no fear. So that is a good thing. But let me listen to the speech of this wonderful Professor Lumumba of Kenya, and then bring and come. I think we get another phone call. And SALONE feels say, the president feels say, it's necessary for making educate the people on corruption. So now we take this caller. Good evening, caller. What's your name, please, and who's they call from?
My name is Nene Ba. They call from Maryland.
Hello, Nene, my sister. How are you? And waiting are you of much for this talk tonight?
I'm okay. I'll not serve the do. My own problem now with the thing where they gone with the junior doctors them right now in a SALONE.
Right.
With the government we go face camp Professor Lumumba or whatever and name them say them pay $70,000. Then left the junior doctors and they strike and they not get money for give them. And second, then they threaten them, say then they go come with foreign doctors then for can work na SALONE day. Well, all that me feel say that's not corruption. Because like if you they go take this foreigner come with them for can talk about corruption where everybody know by now na SALONE what's in that corruption and everything. And if you say that man in speech get for make any big difference to me. But like una left the doctors and they una they tell them say Una go face can foreigners they wanna get for can pay houses them for pay them more and left una young people them. Una young doctors them we make na inki make bokuman we land book na salon it end up for less day and go another side for go work. Because can you imagine after all that school where you don't go, after all the strain where you don't go, you the work and they pay you better, and the parliamentarians and then a parliament they go say then they pass law for let them pay them more. Where they say me not see, I don't know na my own opinion, I don't see any better work where than they do there. I don't know if then they do work but for me I don't see any better work where then they do pass the doctors then where they na they feel they do all the dirty work, they do when they not get better equipment then they manage everything, they save life them every day. The way that they treat the people them right now is very bad. It's not good. It's not good for the country. It's not good for any development. And I feel it's a corruption too. That's not my own contribution.
Oh, that makes so much sense. You can say again, this is not the voice of Sierra Leone. This is not the voice of the people. And Sierra Leoneans have the right to sound off their concern and their opinion and how for someone. And thank you so much, my sister. Couple of months ago, we bring this topic, and Namin have been the host of that topic there about the doctors, the junior doctors, they get issue with the government. And up till now, it's sad for Yeri say the government not able to settle this problem because these doctors, like the caller said, they don't go school, they don't learn book, then they're about saving lives. And it's like they not get no benefits, no good benefit. They no one give them good conditions for work. And the doctors then walk out. I think it was a couple of days ago. The doctors then walk out, and it's been almost 2 months. They don't pay this go with government. And like how the caller say, in look and say na corruption because the parliamentarian them that they ask for money, but the doctor the way they go there with the little bits they make, they're not to God, but the little bit they have and the little bit of knowledge that they try for save life every day. We feel say Papa government for pay attention to that. And this is just, we don't know for 100% if then they go bring other doctor, then come from other side. But we they say to Papa government, you get for work with the doctors, una get for settle this problem, because every day when somebody they don't sick, a doctor is missing out there. The conditions of the doctor, they don't meet people and they die, life then they die. And this is something where somebody die, you cannot take it back, you cannot reverse it. So now we put that there, very, very important. Leona sit down back at the table and we they appeal to the junior doctors. Yes, you all have rights to walk away, but at the same time, on a member on a oath, on a don't take for help for some people, them on a come back to the table with the government, on a come back, on a negotiate, because this is really, really scary. Because Sierra Leone, now we all young with people and they every day somebody then they sick every day people and they die unnecessary. That we not say that God get that, but some died and they where people then they die in Africa and Africa, Sierra Leone, not just unnecessary die.
So
died and they just recklessness and they don't get the equipment them. So on a Canada table and then on negotiate. La pass to me brother with Professor. We honorary Professor Dr. Kutubu. Let instead put in your much by this stick talk here. So what do you feel about this color and talk and continue with the corruption?
Thanks. We will go back to this question of waiting at the emolument, waiting and pay the professor we come for talk. Waiting me go encourage via so this way find institution get to me go absent although they did not get caught up in speculation, innuendos, they say anybody we talk saying that they pay the professor for let them bring evidence to will of sale. Yeah. When they bring the evidence of the money when they get them, we could know how good are they standing. So as far as we concerned, and I know say Mr. Kago will support me say na speculation that because we not get evidence, empirical evidence to the everybody, and we live in an area in misinformation, propaganda, lies, and all that say at the order of the day. So I will continue for appeal to the calculus of the VSO, not forget caught up in that, because it is a very credible place, a highly respectable place, where the only two for stand for are the facts and are the truth. The other way you talk say that the journalists for doing strong the truth and the facts. Now let's address the other question of the doctors. We want strike a very strategic balance there. We go, me personally, go hope say the government, especially the Ministry of Health, go engage the doctors and then go sit down, call them at the table, let them all sit down. There is always something I call a give and take in life. One of the things that we make this country great, and we you know go talk about the greatness of this country. We don't talk about Mr. Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers. He always believes, say, whatever I do, everybody for meet himself halfway. You meet me halfway, I meet you halfway, and so you get what they call parity. And we not go look at askance the doctors and they complain. This is very serious because like that lady talk about the strain where they strain for land book and the time when they check for land the book for doing for can help in country and not to so they forget rewarded. Yeah. So, but what me go try for talk also, me go advise that let the Ministry of Education, let the government make this also a priority. Let them meet them, let them sit down, let them put in demands, let them see what NSF will able to offer, which the doctors and will able to offer to the government and which the government will. Because at the end of the day, though, we all get one common slogan what they use, they'll put SALONE first. Yes, what the parliamentarians and do now, increasing and pays them, ministers increasing and pays other workers them, then the other people them in China. Now I mean some of we be not advocated for be across the board. They be across the board. Because if you give one segment number, you not give you say, hey, wait a minute, we're gonna market that bag dress that same amount where you they not pay high money for, where they buy now the same money, me now the same money they pay, me will not get money. So the cost of living and the hardship they meet everybody. So there has to be parity there. So me instead of the doctors and go on strike, well, of course that they right, but me go really appeal to them in the name of this one slogan who get to put SALONE first. Let them meet to the Ministry of Health, especially the minister, and if possible the chief minister. Let them all sit down at the back of the table and see what they're going to do for the good of the country. And that we go now. I mean, offer that.
We have another caller on the line. Good evening, caller. What's your name and also you call from, please?
I call from. My name is Thomas Tam. They call from North Dakota.
Okay.
To be precise, yeah.
Okay, my brother. Okay, good evening. And what's in your own got much for this talk today on social media?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you plenty thank you for the program this evening because I don't keep in church so many times. So the program they want to present. The topic today we want to try for elaborate on corruption is very important because corruption don't put SALONE behind a lot of things then where it comes to unemployment, the health system, and every aspect of life. So this particular man we then bring because there is some people and they say they pay this man like $70,000. So I believe we need for the try for the avoid rumors. Now we try for the get the facts, and now we also the try for the keep in touch with programs in our country because me most especially I can listen to radio station like 98.1. How you call them? Unayon program as well. So like we do here so that we're able for we're able for track information. Because if you just assume then a corner and somebody posts on social media say they pay somebody 70,000 without you getting the fact, then you are misleading yourself and you are misleading the public.
Yeah. So
this particular man, because I know say this man don't visit different countries then for go talk. Because like for instance, great speakers then, like Nelson Mandela and other people are not going to name all. Them people they are people of influence. Are people where somebody they look and he say, "Bola, follow this man." This is where this man say, "La put into an action." So now that make I think say the government bring this particular man na SALONE for let it go able to talk on corruption because he also they against corruption. And in messages the way they give a precedent for let people and go change. For example, I don't go also na Nigeria. Now I talk to the honorables and that thing at the Senate or whatever I go there. So we see I'm not sure. So if this man and go to a salon, I believe say they go try to make a change. But after that done, there are a lot of things the way the government go for do because on the other time I be listening to the anti-corruption commissioner. They talk say for let we go able for fight corruption. They say for try for most of the government departments them go for be computerized so that any transaction or service system where they pass through, you go able for track a criminal or a corrupt individual very easily. For example, if Nami Duam, there is no way for let them go through book or they'll go begin to investigate or whatever. They just go through on social posting. They say, oh, this man, I can't walk here, social term, now him be pass through this and go through all that thing and I in Duam. He said, then they back the help. Yeah. You know, he said, but it take a lot of money and funding, you know. And also somebody be they say, the doctors then, you know, like, I mean, I don't know if the person try for listening, but this is all about how we they try for follow up. I then listening to the Minister of Finance, 98.1, where they talk say, they don't bring the doctors them on table for let them go negotiate on some of the demand system and service system where they say them forgive them. They say, and then as we talk, he say even they don't try for all the claims them, then waiting they want for let them provide, they say them go see into them. He said, but unfortunately, now the parliament, he said that we don't already pass the budget before the man they have come up with this thing. He said, but nonetheless, he said he go try invest for CC, then try for answer to the calls. You see? So if we follow up, me they try for they just tell the family, they say, because we are all interrelated. Like, for example, like the guest speaker where you get it, they try for talk say the people that don't go study and stuff, which is very important. Somebody not go you go study for 8 years and you expect you can pay and less. And the medical system at SALONE is very, very important. It's very important. So I believe that the government they put things in place for let then go able for look into the demands. You know? So again, so in when they talk for the Anti-Corruption Commission, say it is needless. We don't think so for say the Anti-Corruption Commission is needless because one, Africa, you know, like like South Africa, you know, Africa, we are all related, we are all like the same level. That's why like Nigeria, they say they get the biggest economy, but if you check into the features them about corruption and stuff, it is almost the same. So Sierra Leone is a developing country. The people that make out the Anti-Corruption Commission, they're not full. They can say the Anti-Corruption Commission go there as an institution for able to investigate corrupt officials then. So what the government has to do, the government has to strengthen the institutions so that they must become independent. And also the institutions therefore able to render the services that where the citizens they need. So a lot of things in there where the government then for able to do, but I mean it takes a lot of time and challenges. You know, but I mean if they get the determination for students here and then get the free will, people and we some more free, most of the people then go dead behind them. If really this thing where they talk, because for talk something now one and for do the action is two. Yeah, so I will just press the case here for now. I will follow up on the program, you know.
Thank you so much, caller. You make so much sense. This is not the voice of Sierra Leone. Every voice, your voice don't go, and trust me that they listen, that they hear you. So thank you for your contribution, but we can't take a commercial break because the station therefore make small couple for paying bills them. So when they come back, wanna stay tuned, and as soon as they wait for the commercial, please share and call you people and for can listen and for can go multiple this talk here. And then when we come, we go bring Professor Kutubu in, lay add the own party, waiting the caller say, and we continue the conversation. So commercial break right now. Stay tuned. They come back in few minutes.
What are you looking at?
You are so gorgeous. Your skin, so lovely, clean, sunny, and natural.
Do you stress out about your skin? Do you freak out when you break out? Well, help is on the way. Try Shaw's Creations organic body products. Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? We'll try Shaw's Creations organic body products. My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
You look great.
I look healthy.
Shaw's Creations organic body products.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
So many people there, we don't come back again. I want to thank you for joining. And today, with a talk on today now, anti-corruption, International Anti-Corruption Day, December 9, 2018. And we don't talk on the president in speech. We did now for Professor Lumumba in speech, and people then they say, Salone, not for being bring the man come, waiting una think. What think about corruption at Salone? How we forbid the corruption? The president don't lay a agenda down. How we defeat corruption? It don't talk of corruption. Na bad thing. It push Salone go bien. It push the country bien. And with it say power. Then go must fight corruption. Power. Salone go left for corruption. How the way they do them? He say one part it's where they do them, they try for make them begin teach social services. Then a school things they're waiting for teach. Then therefore begin their all their summits, then a then job, then government institution. How they go able for fight corruption. And we are glad for that day because we want corruption and the whole Salone go bien. And be beaucoup they don't corrupt in many ways in like how we honorary professor. Okay, we get a phone caller. We take this caller. Thank you so much for holding on and waiting. Me caller, waiting. Are your name, please, and where you call from?
Good evening, Auntie Fadima. Good evening, Mr. Kutubu, GM. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for holding. Good evening, GM. Thank you for holding the line. Waiting. Are you of much by this talk, sir?
First of all, I will tell man, thank you. I will start with the corruption side where I watch the forum and I see we all go back and forth. But I want to make me fumble them when I say all say no say corruption, if we want we fight them, we all go for fight them together. Enough for be a party team, enough for be SAPP or APC or NGC. It for be a Sierra Union thing, which means we need for believe in them. So first we get for start with for educate people and for know what's in that the disadvantages where you can't get corrupt, what's the loss. Most of people don't know the disadvantages because then most of we don't born in corruption, we don't see as a normal thing. So it's acceptable in as a norm. So we need to go back and enforce some things that people know. So the reason they could want to go overseas or go other country them, and because of country corrupt. If the country not corrupt, then country not get nothing we're not able to achieve. So if we don't educate some people in that way, to put on their aid, then begin believe in the message. I believe we all go fight corruption together because corruption is from the upper to the lower level. So whether you be APC, SAPP, whoever, this will be a collective fight. So I believe this will be one voice instead of we go back and forth to say APC thief, SAPP thief, and now they'll make an argument, which means we take the arguments away from the importance of them. We'll begin to argue, go back and forth instead of just talk about the importance of them. So let we not point this as one person thing. Everybody don't thief in a salon. Everybody don't corrupt in one way in a salon. So let we all take that accountability there. Let we all accept the fact that yes, we are not part and parcel of corruption, and we are ready for fight them together. I think if we get to that point, we're able to make a difference. Because anytime when one person come with a mouth, another person trying to wait for make a crazy excuse for just deflect you, they say, eventually they will bust all into the whole fight. Mr. Justin will call from China. He make a very important point where he talks, the president of the day not supposed to appoint the commissioner, the ACC commissioner. He make great point because and there is no way I go appoint you as Mion Bobo, then you come investigate me. It don't make no sense. And this guy for go back and forth. The next person back where they come and say go out in you and say put you on there for after the other person. So it sound more like another thing I witch hunt, but anybody can name them saying I witch hunt if it's negative. So they'll put them away to become independent, that answerable to no government with the people of Sierra Leone. That's what it's supposed to be. But because of the way the appointments they go and because the parliament's not effective, so this another blame are more on the president, them, and they blame on the parliament, saying that therefore be more independent and effective. And just like what Mr. Kutubu says, the law system, if they snap Tkanga one and do them the right way, we get able to fit them. Another thing is about that 70,000. If I tell them that there is no evidence, say that man take 70,000. This is just political knife fight, the knife fight. No, they have after they push we away from the main thing. As a good Sierra Leonean, what we need to do is that let we put we party or pride away. If the president do something right, give him the kudos. Tell him say yes, he do right. Yes. Nothing excuse for making work look like a mess. If you do something bad, if you yourself not a supporter, not supporter. Because when you do that, not only you the help, but now the country you the poor. Because when you continue to do that, it become a society that you yourself then become corrupt. So let we start with ourselves. Because both sides we see the truth, we the venom because we like the person. Yeah. That's not corruption, and that day is that. So again, before we go, all we are accountable. Let we start with ourselves. Go back and evaluate what you do. What they put on social media. How you attack other person where the person tell the truth, where you already know the truth, but because of it, to somebody who like he hurt you, you go after him. So when we start from that point there, discipline ourselves, they go discipline other people. One of not discipline ourselves, I will discipline other people. So again, let we start for fix we own corruption first within ourselves. Then we go time for all other people to be accountable. When somebody criticize you, not to alter and criticize you, then means they hate you. So I'm saying they criticize you because they like you. Take them. Yeah. Or try to convince the person, get a valuable discussion or argument. Not to just because somebody said when they begin cause or you get attack them. No, sometimes they criticize you, then somebody don't see something where you don't see. You take them constructively. But for now we put Salone first, we got to put we on mind them first, so we got to clear we on corruption. So again, we're not gonna fight corruption if we corrupt. So now me on take this let we start with ourselves and when we go begin. So that's the question for ask ourselves first. When we gonna start as an individual? Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We'll come back to make a comment later, but we have another call. Thank you, Jim. Very, very good point. We'll come back to that. Good evening, caller. What's your name, please, and who side they call from?
Yes, this is my concern, Sierra Leone. They call from Philadelphia.
Yes, concern from Philadelphia, sir. What are your take on tonight's discussion on corruption and the speech of Dr. Lumumba and also the president's speech? How will fight corruption? What are your solution? What are your idea? What are your view? What you get forward for this talk?
So my contribution is now first of all, let's begin. Corruption not a new thing like SALONE. Corruption not to 2007 it begin. Corruption not begin from 1962 per se, since the time when Sam Milton died, when Saraba take over. Now the SALONE problem begin. So let we get on the right. So if you want to deal with corruption, and you say you will begin from 2007 to 2018, for real, for that, they tell you one thing, you're not serious. You cannot be serious. Another thing we get for taking into consideration, the person with the lead this crusade for fight corruption, whether the president himself. Well, let's look at this president himself. Before 1992, April of 1992, when they take over, this president, 9 times out of 10, he never even get bank account, na SALONE. But before this president, they come office in 1996, he already get account, offshore accounts in the Channel Island. And from that same account stay, according to Tijan Kaba, and according to receipts they also don't see online. From that same account stay, that offshore account stay, now that this one be refunded and you share from the passport sales with him and Abbas Kundu be sell illegally. That's my one example. This same president charged the government of Sierra Leone fees for helicopter parts, where the government of SALONE even owned the helicopter. This same president right now stole $18 million where Mr. Samura Kamara confronts him during the presidential debate. He not deny him. So with all this, they are not be honest to himself. How this kind of person they grab say he want fight corruption? Tell me, take this kind of person serious.
Caller, can I interject a second? Don't you
Please
think?
Go ahead.
The president not there for defending himself in all the stuff the way you don't put out, and you say now evidence the way they get from Tijan Kaba in record and everything. Was it the job of the APC anti-corruption boss for Bindon go and do what he get for do? Was it APC miss their own turn for do what he and do? But this president is going back for go see what they don't do, because they're not accused nobody of nothing yet. Let me know that first. They say that nobody.
I'm sorry to cut you off, ma'am. I'm sorry to cut you off.
They're not finding they're not finding guilty yet, because when they call you,
the GTC report. Listen, if
the process
the
is
GTC report.
Hold on. Hold on. The process is okay. You don't do this. This is what you do wrong. You therefore go answer to the commission of inquiry. You therefore go prove your receipts. Then call your name. If me no say me not to thief and no get nothing, I get all me paperwork them. If they call me name, If they call me name, I they go inside there, I go put the paperwork. This is what you wanna accuse me of, and pull me name commodity. So it's about, they're not saying nobody the thief. They say they accuse you. Bring you records. Now records they ask for. Then if they find you say something there, then put onto the courts and you go defend yourself. So everybody is innocent till proven guilty. So I want for let we be fair. Because I'm not siding nobody here, but I just try for be fair that it is like APC them been getting torn, but they did not do what they were supposed to do. Now this new government say now this they do. Now then people they name they call, let them go prove themselves. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Say you not thief man. Just go show them the paperwork where they accuse you of. Now this you accuse me. Now this I do. You go give accountability. That's all they're asking for. So you know, I'm not trying to shut you down, because this is the voice of Sierra Leone, but I just want to bring that side there for just be, in the middle a little bit. So go ahead and finish.
Okay.
I mean now.
Okay. In the midst of that, again, again, if you listen the day when you released that GTT report, if you listen to the words of the chief minister, Professor Francis, he said there was a massive racketeering going on. He said we are going to jail them all. Isn't this guilty already before trial? Do you listen to those statements? So if you say they're not condemned, then condemn. They name the people. The professor already condemned them on the BBC. So that is that. But that for me, the whole thing is this. Okay, if Julius Matter be a really serious for fed corruption, do you let it take this investigation? Let it not waste taxpayers' money and limit it only to 2007 and 2018. Let it extend that from 1992 all the way to now. If this president do so, I guarantee you it'll get the support of everybody. Let the investigation begin with time. Believe you me, if this president can do that, I guarantee you the fight against corruption at SALONE, it will become a thing of the past. Believe you me. Let him say they should investigate what happened from 1992. Let them investigate me, my wealth, myself, how I became wealthy from a second lieutenant when I didn't get bicycle to own home in Virginia, like the most expensive county in the United States. For Christ's sake, that this same person that I did this crusade for it. The other day when I give you a break, yeah. The money man about the matter be chief of that country today. If you not pay for that one day, and then they take money from nobody nobody will take them serious. We will continue to reject them. We will continue to cooperate at all with this stupid investigation when they can go. And then they work like Alucio. That man has to get account for himself first before they go after anybody. Period. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you. Concern from Philadelphia, your voice has been heard. Now your own opinion. Now your own way to talk on waiting the money. This is not the voice of Sierra Leone, and the platform where everybody can talk in view, but respectfully. And if we interject, it's not like we try for shut anybody down, but we get for be fair and we get for bring and come to the middle, you know. So it's about President Tokam say, and I know they defend the president. I don't have no affiliation with SLPP, not SLPC, not NGC. But the president Tokam say, he say, sometimes if he be say anybody within a EU administration, where we don't serve na previous government, una let remember say, una no not vex too much yet. Because like he say, rope go draw bush, bush bring, rope go draw bush kind of tongue. Okay, you can put and say sometimes you try for set the trap for one particular person, but it go draw to you. We don't know how far back it go carry go, because if somebody go say now 2000 and whatever year, it go back 19 such and such 1989, 19 whatever 1960 whatever. If they're able to go far for prove them, it go as far as it can go, because that was the words of the president. So with the all and by that word they say, if they catch somebody when they inside EU administration, it get for go answer to the query. So let we give chance and know the frustration of people of Sierra Leone. Let bring Kutubuka inside, make it up much padisto. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. For that, apologize to me, listeners, and we have been go away. I'll be small technical breach because we are transferred from one system to the other. Thank God I don't come back.
Yes.
Here is how we look at this thing. They have I see people are not being accused the chief minister of either biasness or whatever it is. He don't convict people at all. The man he gets a right to an opinion. In expressing an opinion, say, and make people then go jail or whatever it is, not to get the final say over that. Don't try for disabuse remind of it. This explains why they set up a commission of inquiry. If the man may not just take the people and then go lock them up without a trial, then we can see justification in that. But since that not happened, that made them insist, and as a matter of fact, that many people they know say the commissions of inquiry they can't intervene the second week in January night, the commission they come. Let we sit patiently and wait and see what are the outcome of this. People again for understand see After the NPRC we don't come out, there was a TCR, a Truth and Reconciliation Committee will not take place. It will not come, and we not iron out everything, and then we don't go. Join the question be happen in South Africa. Then we get a Truth and Reconciliation Committee, but that not prevent Mr. Jacob Zuma from standing trial. The people in the follow Mr. Jacob Zuma is standing trial now for corruption, obviously enough. Regardless of what they don't do, that don't pass. They look not to because we don't get a Truth and Reconciliation Committee. So if we commit offenses, breaches against the Constitution, we don't go. The law not go take it up. Wait to one do not make sure so we get judged when they come. We will be very fair. We will be very independent. When they go look the evidence ready before them. Now make some of we hope say we will get judges that people like Justice Foster, Sam Foster, who we get Percy Davis, Joe Kubet, Dove Edwin, and then kind of a judge then we get of stature for look into this. So once and for all, we will begin the nip the corruption. But again, when all is said and done again, waiting will begin preventing corruption. And not begin building institutions then where once we get the institutions, then we will not fall in place, and everybody they do, we will pass it. We not need forget wait an administration go out of power. 5 years still can't begin whole inquiry. We don't need that. If they listen to me, I already talk about the need for law, a very aggressive Justice Department with very serious-minded criminal lawyers the way they did, prosecutors the way they did, crimes for being investigated and prosecuted on daily basis. Not the way I want administration not go. Some of you don't believe in that. I believe say almost every day. Now it also if any minister under Mr. Bio he breached the Constitution, if I be there to now, not the way they not come out in office, so may not believe in that for accumulate sentient. So we are not get a beginning. The beginning is investigations are going to take place. Anybody where they found you wanting, having breached with Constitution one way or the other, there's going to be unintended consequences. That's what we look at. I'll turn back to you.
Thank you so much for explaining that. For I'm glad the way the people then they call in. We get another caller, but this is the voice of Sierra Leone. Caller, good evening. Where you voice matter with respect. You can give your opinion, and we know one's no call name. And at a given time, good evening, caller. What's your name and where you call from? Hello, caller. Can you dial
good morning. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This night, Ibi Soa from Australia.
Okay, Mr. Soa from Australia. Good evening, my brother. Good morning, my brother. You in morning now. So what's your own take on today's conversation, please?
Yeah, about the speech where people then say Dr. Lumumba come in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Okay, all right, okay, I will. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hello? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Turn your equipment down, please.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes. Mr. Soa, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, then they talk about Dr. Lumumba for Ghana, Sierra Leone. It just sounds like where we in Africa, we then can say, then they go with crusade now villages, or then in map, then they go preach now their villages. Then people then grab, some people then grab now the village or the area, say they don't want people the way them preach. That one then they wait, they knock you want let people then go preach now them villages there, or for let them go do this. Then people then they nine the witches now they no one better for them villages than they. So it just sounds like the people the way they say for go with Dr. Lumumba and Sierra Leone, the government of go with, and then people then they now they no one let corruption done at Sierra Leone. You see, I read this last caller we even they talk about investigating from 92. But meanwhile, it say corruption starts 1962. So if they talk about that, all the one the way they then past president the way they don't come, why they not be investigate? You understand? From 1962 up to this 2018. The one where it don't count 2018, what you see now it try for investigate. And it not to it investigate on behalf of the country. You understand? So that man, the way that guy, the way he talk, let it just know say, if you be not the power, we not investigate how the government money be passed from 1962 to this time. Somebody come today, he say it investigate, because the way how he see the thing don't pass mark, it investigate to this time to this time. Why if we get angry? Why that mean they way they not do?
Yes.
You understand? So the wise man says that if the buttocks is not a coward, why does it protrude from the back? You understand?
Yes.
So if they're not being afraid, why they not be bring in this investigation? If they're not being afraid in those days, in that time, where they be there as government, as they in government, why they not be bring this investigation? Because they know say themselves their hand not gonna be clear. Because if whether they talk about 1964, where that corruption, where they talk about maybe 3/3 of it, therefore don't they part of that corruption, that investigation. So then put that aside. Okay, let's forget about that. But the thing we are the talk here, Mr. Kutubu, let God bless you. You understand? You been make some points where they can talk about for people that if VOS, if we not take time, people then go use on our social media for putting her down. You understand? Because everybody, we get them radio without batteries then, where then they bring information. Then just they talk on the social media, then come, then talk. So me, the advice we are the advice viewers, you understand? Let them try and get a correspondent in a Sierra Leone. Where something happened, then go there, you understand? They investigate for themselves. Then give the fact, like how CNN or other things, other media, other TV stations that they do, so that we are able to get exactly what you want to say. But let them radio without batteries, then they're not a just information. Then people that will not safe take them as you understand as true. So what Mr. Kutubu say, I agree with that several. I agree with that 1,000%. We for be very careful how we handle talks the way that they bring on social media, when they bring on a platform, because these people are radio without battery. Because now, you can buy top up, SALONE self, then you call or you say anything. So my own contribution here, viewers, now very a credible station, but before that credible station, you understand, if they remain credible, when I go forget our own correspondent from Sierra Leone.
Yes.
So that tomorrow people they not go, they can't then go they point finger at una. Thank you and God bless.
God bless you. God bless you too. Thank you so much for we take your advice. But one thing we know, say VOS, we get people there already. We get reported in Africa. But all we need from Sierra Leone right now, the paperwork is in progress. You know how the same corruption, and we refuse for giving to corruption. We refuse for pay money for let you get what you get forget. We refuse now the delay down there, but we they work on them, and very soon we go begin we report at them, because then they go some side, but they not give them the credential because they're not registered yet officially in Sierra Leone. So now they only delay the same corruption when they talk, when you go some side, you get for put money for lay you, where you don't pay the fee, they want back let you put money, let you give them this, let you give them that, and certain thing that you get people where they monopolize the institution them, where one people them, but standing for another day, we go talk on that day, another day, but one day, we go no say radio Voice of Sierra Leone, we go compete with all the other one the way they and we very be careful what would they say. And I make we call this like today we call on social media. What's on social media? We discuss them, waiting a lie, waiting to anything we're not sure off. We say allegedly, then say Now this they go around, but we don't know if not true. We they put that word in the day. Say now this then they talk of. And anything we will talk of now something where already don't official, where they on the ground, where they don't the government they talk of, where they go on, now we they talk of. So thank you so much for that advice, and we take with all we want all that. We gladly we say thank you to you. Good evening, caller. We have another caller on the line. Good evening, caller. What's your name, please, and where you call from? Hello, caller. Good evening. What's your name, please, and where you call from? Can you hear me? The caller then on the line. Maybe we lost some. Are you there? Good evening, caller. What's your name, please, and where you call from? Hello, caller.
Leone from Australia.
Yes, Mr. Concern number one. Good evening, sir. Good morning, sir. What's in your much part today on talk, sir?
First and foremost, I want to respond to the claims the way people then say the government go hire doctors than overseas. There is a statistics here. To every 5,000, 250 people of Sierra Leone is assigned to a doctor. Then you get the UK, to every 74 people is assigned to a doctor. So that don't tell you, say, the population and the amount of doctor, not even commensurate, not even linear proportion. So there is a huge amount of challenge with the health system that Sierra Leone face. If you can imagine 5,000 some 100 people in the population depend on one doctor, wherein in the UK, you get 74 persons assigned to a doctor. Look at that gap. And make I remind the post where America will make that claim. Even America, they recruit doctors them from overseas. They hire nurses them from overseas. For can't add to the doctors the way they get. So Sierra Leone, a country, the Ebola exposed the amount of how incapable we health system is. That Ebola, for don't send a very strong signal to every government for take the health sector very, very seriously. Because that Ebola disgrace with health system to the dot. People and die of Ebola. Most times, some of the people away, they're not to say that the disease itself kill them. Imagine somebody gets Ebola and Acribola beyond Gunguna. The road network so bad, there are no ambulance that are comfortable to transport those people. By the time the person reach to a service center, who say they can't seek treatment, the patients don't become so exhausted and dehydrated.
Okay.
At the end of the day, by road, people they die. You see that they put people in four-wheel drive, motor car, naked, beard grown patients. So that's a huge challenge. If the government want to go, the only advice is if government want to go hire doctors them overseas, make them look at the areas them in the medical field where we not get enough doctors the way they cover the people who are affected by those diseases. Because overseas doctors, they are specialists. In Africa, and a jack of all trades, they see one great doctor who specializes as a gynecologist, they do a lot of operations. That's also a risk to the patient, but the doctors will not get options because they are limited. They try their best to give out for save life. So me, they urge the government for take the health sector very seriously, for input more money into the health sectors, carry equipment them, empower the doctors, and give more scholarship to people who they study science, for encourage them for go to the medical field, the nursing field, for improve the health of the people. That's now one point of the argument. Thank you very much. Another point here. I call and make a claim, say Mother Bio is 18 million. Meaning they defend Naya Mother Bio. But in life, we forget to call common sense and logic reasoning. The person who make the claim in that debate was the then presidential candidate, Wayne Sambura, we work under Mother Bio in administration. Will be part of the finances in that administration. So this is not a blessing in disguise for that party. Now that they get an aspirant, a person who don't stand for them, we make that claim. The pressure not for them under the anti-corruption. The pressure for them to Sambura for count the evidence forward to the anti-corruption, for start that investigation because he was part of that government and he was the one who made that claim publicly. So in a public official, now if for carry the evidence to the anti-corruption that this is the evidence after I've made my claim into that debate that Mother Bio stole 18 million, these are the documents. It makes the argument very simple. You don't go blame Mother Bio in this. Now, me go put the blame on Sambura because I count the claim and in a public official, let him count the evidence. Another argument here is, Madam, let's assume say it is 18 million. It is 18 million at Sierra Leone. But the past government spent 10 years. They conducted the commission of inquiry. If they were serious, if they were really serious, how many people are found guilty of corruption when they put in a jail? They were not. It means they were not serious in fighting corruption. So there you can't blame. Now this present government or the government will come up will for do an assignment. But if this government step in say this would draw a line on this, that don't put them in a real footing. After when they self command power in future, somebody go can only accountable. And that is how you start to fight corruption. There must be a map, a line. At least people like angry, people that will benefit from corruption, they will get angry. That is a fact. You will see the anger in them. You can feel it in them argument. Because a lot of people that benefit from corruption, they don't want corruption to end in Sierra Leone. And a lot of them, they are overseas at this country. When they benefit directly, some their parents, then they receive salon money, they pay them school fees, they pay them, they enjoy in the first world country. If anybody gets any evidence of any administration, both present in the past, of any corruption, make them forward that publicly, publish the document, publish and maybe all one CM. Then we will be serious for fight corruption.
Okay.
Now that's my new argument. This fight is not about the political party. These are everyone's responsibility. But let me argue logically and with common sense.
Thank you so much, my brother. If you get any other thing, call back and add to it. Keep listening, and thank you so much. We appreciate you, and you're one of our loyal listeners. So we have another caller on the line. Good evening, caller. What's your name, please, and also where you call from?
Yeah. Good evening, viewers. This is now concern number 4.
Yes, number 4, my brother. Welcome. And what do you get for what much by this talk, this net?
Yes, thank you very much. I want to tell concern number 1 very much. Thank you. We talk about the healthcare sector a little bit. It's really pathetic. For me, I really even feel bad and heavily disappointed the way the current government, they handle the situation and even threaten. With brothers and sisters, we don't spend so much time for at least, study under very difficult situation back home. First of all, medicine where they study, even if we're in advanced countries, is a little bit tedious. I know they say how much more Sierra Leone we heavily challenged. We lack a lot of the staffs, facilities for train up with sons and daughters them. So maybe they think to say the best way government for really talk to them, encourage them, see how they go meet at a common point, other than for say we go hire foreign doctors. That is, I'm not able to understand. If we not value we young people, then would have to go value. And one thing where they fail for realize, me as a Sierra Leonean, being trained as a physician, I can better understand for treat me company Sierra Leonean far much better than even the one we go come out Harvard University or Cambridge University or any advanced university in the world. In fact, the secret is where they study at the medical school there, then the special course where they take, cultural competency course, so that you go able to understand the next man na in your country, how they do things with my culture, with my understanding. So it really sad. And like help concern number 1, it gives statistics. He say one doctor they see 5,000 patients in Sierra Leone. Let me say this, it's more than that. I just watch out the statistics. Now, for every 3 physicians who get in a salon, they're liable for see up to 100,000 patients. So if you break down that 3 physicians, that means 1 physician a salon, 1 doctor in a salon, entitled for see 33,000 Sierra Leoneans. That not makes per specialist demo. Okay. So the government really need to do something. Now, what's the account all in strike here? The same bottom line, corruption. Corruption. I know account for how the country is so delayed today. But the lectures where Professor Lumumba give, go watch them in this way. The way how it again lectures they should say we all therefore put hands on deck for fight corruption. But first, the government of the day, then get the political will, they have to be serious. Because when they could put more premium on them, now then get people and authorities and then places and they. Now the last regime, why make corruption be so rampant for them? Not that there are not structures not be there in place. So when I go recall, say we got a very good Auditor General. The lady where they head that Auditor General's department, I don't know in name physically, but I think that's something Taylor. She has been doing a very excellent job. If you follow up to the Auditor General's report where it began a release from 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, take on to the Ebola period, take on to 2017. That lady did a very good job. He provided strong, concrete recommendations for help the government at that time, for let them put checks and balances so that we go minimize corruption. But the problem is, did the government listen to the lady in work? No, they're not listening. That is why you see we economy mess up. So me on kind of encouragement now to this BO-led government, and as I listen to in speech where he give today on corruption, I hope say it will make somebody like the Auditor General tight party, and any possible report where the Auditor General will begin a release now on Ion administration, you know, look and by the eye, neither watch them to say na anti-document against the government, but it go take on with good faith, and then see to say how we go do things for like we minimize the way how they spend money, how we go do things so that we go cover loopholes. Because the problem now we get in a salon, when you criticize constructively and objectively, they don't take political lens put on their eye. They're not going to see you again as a true patriot, but go begin a line you say, you know, the government, you know, I let them go before, then a new government, they just come. All the excuses and then they account for make we know they go before as a country. But the fight against corruption, now we all. Professor Lumumba talked something where touched me yesterday. He started first with the Christians then. He said, yes, we get Christians in Sierra Leone, we get Christians in Africa. But any Christian, when they fail for live up to the expectation, it make mention of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal. We all know that one day. He said, but Christians don't ignore that commandment day. In fact, they don't even turn the 10 commandments to like 10 suggestions from God. But if they uphold such a commandment, then I know say, where I go in office, are they there for do the right thing? And I'm not in my office for just work and receive salary, but also if I work diligently well, I be honest, I be truthful, I be sincere, I they worship God using me office. Now these people don't know. You know, and also it talk for the Muslims them. The Allah tell them something in the Quran about let them be truthful, let them be honest. So we don't win awards in the world, say we are the most religious tolerant state in the world. How I wish we go further improve on that religious tolerance to be one of the most honest, sincere people on earth. Salone go turn paradise the next 10 years. But as long as we religiosity just the number for going to church and mosque, but when it comes to the actual practice of the principles were embedded in the Bible and the Quran, we know they follow them. Now we the number one for compromise. Now we the number one for bribe. Now we the number one for support. Anything so far, then we country no go grow. Now I want to say this: the way how corruption talk they go now the country. Most of we as them talk about corruption and ministers that we are they run to straight, say now then corrupt. But what about we? With daily lives, how would they live on? What now with daily activities that what they do? How many compromises would they do? Just forget we way through and will not care what will be the consequence. And corruption not go only tap say pass you thief money, but where is until the actual time where you supposed for dinner office, you know dinner office. Until if you supposed for register in office 8 o'clock, you go there 10 o'clock. Now corrupt practice you don't display in disguise. You know, because you they cheat the government of the day, and then the actual work you're supposed to do 8-10 hours where you're supposed to spend in office, not where you go spend until you go just spend 4 hours. You know, so we got for really change with attitude, we got for change with behavior, we got for be really serious as a people, you know, and it takes two to commit a crime. So, like I say this, if you go somewhere and somebody want to corrupt you, where you're not yielding to that practice day, it go minimize with time. Yes. You know, but of course, the government of the day, then got for do everything possible for C to say, they minimize corruption in a very kind way. Also, again, me the hope say, office like anti-corruption, for now it can day. But I want to see that we country will become so determined for say, you know what? let us put checks and balances. Now, every ministries, department, organizations, let us put a good transparency, accountability systems, internal systems, wherein we go to audit ourselves, we go to check ourselves, to the point that it go reach a time, the Office of Anti-Corruption go close, because every system go don't be well developed, up and running, and then people go be accountable, and then we do it right. That thing and day, if we corrupt free, we not go yield into IMF conditionalities. Because to the yield into IMF conditionalities, because waiting do, we're not able to generate funds for ourselves, we're not able to fend for ourselves, so we have to depend on outside donors. And SALONE for members say the world don't turn on, we they see what's happen between the big powers, China and US. Yes. So as I wrap up, the fight against corruption, then our hands, we all individually, Professor don't go talking yon, but not to nothing strange. We know waiting for do, if we only stick to doing those principles and do it right and true, we will help ourselves out of corruption. Thank you.
Thank you, Concern. You always can make sense. And I know say one thing will touch you more again with the doctors then, because you're a young medical student trying to make it. Thank you so much for your contribution. God bless you. And let's bring Kutubu in. We have another caller. Okay, we get commercial break. We get a commercial break. We're going to take a commercial break because we want to make money. Then people they don't pay for they will sell them products. And I can always say to whom you give your money is to who you give your power. We get for the support with Sierra Leone business them. And this now one young middle-aged woman will come up with solution and make beauty products them, things them for help the skin. So it can be man can buy a woman can buy them on a buy on a support with Sierra Leone sister. So let's go on a commercial break and we'll be back. Thank you all and stay tuned.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control on the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool.
Yes, me fumble them. Una do you that commercial day. Me say I be the jump to the tune. That's a beautiful commercial. We sister they selling products. Una support them. Una buy me. Una skin then glow and shine. Okay, we get a caller. Thank you so much for your patience. I know say what you want talk important because you are the voice of Sierra Leone. Then the listening, then the yegi. Good evening, caller. What's in your name, please? And inside the call from.
Oh, my name is Bakar. I call from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello, Bakar. What you get for putting on what today talk today?
Well, thank you, Fadima and Kutubu, for this wonderful initiative we want to come up with, and I hope that we're able to maintain our independence, you know. But from my own point of view, this whole corruption thing at SALONE, it don't say we address this issue.
Go ahead, Bakar. Hello, Bakar. Can you hear us? We don't lost you.
We address this issue.
Okay, Bakar, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, with the Bakar, go ahead. Just dull your background, whatever you listen from. Just turn it down a little bit and go ahead because you echo a little bit. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, with the you go ahead. Okay, another caller. Good evening, caller. What's your name, please? Outside.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, caller. What's your name, please? And who's you call from?
So don't get cut off small.
Can you dull what you listen to? They get feedback. Can you turn your volume down from your equipment where they watch, please? And go ahead.
I think you don't get cut off. The one way you talk to and the one way.
Okay, what's your name, please? And who's they call from?
I call from Pennsylvania.
And what's your name, please? Okay, concerned citizen. What's your name, please? And who's they call from? What you get forward to this?
Concerned citizen number 5 from Pennsylvania.
Okay, number 5, concern from Pennsylvania. What's your own take on tonight again? But you are add back. But make them quick because other people then get chance. Go ahead. Okay, number 5, concern from Pennsylvania. Concern, we get a problem with you. You go get for turn down your volume or you hang up and try for call me back.
Yeah, this is a very quick one.
Okay, the volume, the feedback from you back. So can you turn your equipment down a little? The volume.
Yeah, this is a very quick one.
Okay. The volume, the feedback from you back. So can you turn your equipment down a little?
Sure.
Yeah, then we take another call. Wait, you call me back, please. Good evening, caller. What's your name, please, and who's they call from?
Yes, good evening. I'm in Bendu. I call from Kansas City.
Yes, Miss Bendu, my sister. What you get for Rob? You talk today. We talk today. What you get for
well,
Rob
I want to
today?
tell you also thank you, Mr. Dima, Mr. Kutubu, and the medium. I want to tell you all thank you for our time. But
thank you, babe.
I get when I make contribution this evening, I not feel say with the appetite of corruption, I not feel say if they stay safe, then pay 70,000 to Professor Lumumba for camp and sensitize people in SALONE. I not feel say that money they na money way so exorbitant way what within that mandate go get for if people then listen to that message, I not feel say what that money did. That's not one. Secondly, me just feel say if anything there where we all go fit, Lord, we fit and collectively. Lord, we all forget about this APC, SLPP. If SALONE better, now we all better. Some of we don't there now then with man here for many years we can't let me not be ever politically inclined for no, but anytime where something go wrong, I say, oh, I wish the wire would come out later wire can inside. That not be mistake. So for now, we all just tie we have for saying now one SALONE we get, we all fight for the good of SALONE. Other than APC, SLPP, even yesterday I already said and get APC and picnic. I mean, by now, we not feel so we forget Salone picnic other than APC picnic. How we all go come together. How we all go talk in one voice. Follow we face the faith. Follow we country better. Now that's my own prayer. And now that's my own contribution for tonight. Let God help we all get one word for faith this faith. Let it not be SLPP against APC, APC against SLPP, or NGC against whoever. Let we all faith in one voice. That's my own contribution that for tonight.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you, Bendu. Thank you for calling, and stay tuned. Call back if you get anything else for add. Thank you and good night. But I want to say this, and I like what he say. I don't say it before. We get a phone call, but I just finish this one thought. Together with one voice, we go before. Together with one voice. And the change of idea, your mind, the mindset of the people, we have to sensitize the people. That's why maybe the government say it need be for let them bring somebody of influence, like our app for say, if one person change, if it costs one person, sometimes it's worth it because it takes one person. Sometimes we're not able to change everybody at the same time, but with one person. Let me take this caller and caller, good evening. What's in your name, please? And who are you they call from? Hello, caller, good evening. What's in your name, please? And who are you they call from?
Yeah, this is Bakari again from
yes, Bakari. Okay.
Atlanta.
Okay, Bakari. Yeah, go ahead, sir. We're gonna get technical.
So yeah, so let me just start off though with within the last caller just said, because that had been the cancer from your point of view. That had been the cancer for we country, for these parties and business. Say this na SLPP do or this na APCB do All right, so what? Let's say the issue where I think one of we caller from Australia be state about Madabio being corrupt or like embezzle this kind of amount of money. Okay, for the sake of argument, let's say that is not true. So does that mean that the man? Hello?
Correction, one point, it was not the caller from Australia. It was somebody else we say concern from Philadelphia.
Oh, okay, sorry. So even with that, if that's the case though, me personally, I say I'm out on public media right now. Me not to be a fan of Madabio. I began would have been in favor for the party. Me not to be, I not support APC. I began my own preference for the election. But the election done. Now we get Madabio on power. So what you want to do? We all just want to see, don't no more look at Madabio for fail, and then where this government come out and fail, the next government come, and then we get this other government where they come out back, then back they hope for the other government for fail. Now that make it go round, they go on all the time, and hopefully I also people and think no more waiting can be the end results of things like that. Not too long ago we suffered something like one at the country. These are part of the things that wouldn't contribute towards them particular things. And me on personal point of view, Sierra Leone, it requires sacrifice. People then get to make sacrifice. The leaders then get to make sacrifice. And we get to make a sacrifice where probably we're not going to be the beneficiary of the good result of that particular sacrifice they will make. Maybe now future generations then yet unborn, now they get to enjoy the sacrifice who they make. We get to do something we will not for hope say, okay, wait till they do so. This is the right thing. I am not going to be any beneficiary for this particular thing and what they do right. But I do one because this is what it takes for me to get done though. With the Professor Wekayanda, I don't feel so specifically the masses that they benefit directly from his speech. Yes, it's necessary for create the education where the professor come with, but that education there is more to people than where they in a government position. And then people then if we want straight anything up in the country, it starts with the leadership. The leadership therefore set a precedent where the layman will go out there and say, hey, this thing. In recent history of the country, we celebrate the MPRC. We say, oh, these are one of the good movements. Them, you go to other countries. Them, and the one thing where the military government and they begin in common, not in precedent. I don't care how much bad things you say them they do, but then they lead with precedent. If something go out there, you go, hey, everybody go tell you, say, hey, this particular person can also now this ministry ensure say everybody can work on time, would not become work on time, a disciplinary action be taken against that person. That was a precedent. If somebody they do right, whether not by force or not willingly, at least let a precedent be set though. So you get for start off from there. We not for go back to all the way say, well, I play witch hunt. I want made this president here so fail. Before you know it, we get for think. Sierra Leone, we are a religious country. Before you know it, we all get for go. And where then are you sick bed now, or where then are road now? That time you go to begin to ask yourself what's your contribution for this country. Do something. You don't need for benefit from that particular thing there. Go out there, then a position, do something where right, where everybody go enjoy from the particular thing where you do. You know, it might not be an immediate impact of what you don't do though, but at least you conscious tomorrow where you go. And whether people don't believe it or not, they get to know say the world nakama. You know, if you or if you're a Muslim or Christian, you get to know say the God what they serve not just God. Corruption are the other name for being just into a nation. God very much just with we. If we not just, we they pay the consequence of being unjust to we people them. You know, we all get for grab and exercise just actions them. That's not the only way we'll be able to reap the benefits of the beautiful country. Otherwise, if we grab somebody that they some side, you know, you hungry, you go all some things, some students are supposed to pay you. The theory they talk about on a paperwork, you know, somebody on go sit down, he say, no, this I hold on until I come and see an angel the people make her expedite that particular thing there. And the sad thing is this corruption don't they become a norm. People that know they do it now, with the hope say this is the normal way of life. Somebody go and go get a job offer, they tell you say, then they pay me better, but the mass right to get in an plenty. Come on, what's in that mass say? It's corruption. And whether you believe it, people don't believe it or not, now a system approach. If a minister there, or you get somebody in a higher power, you suppose for do something right. You say no, you know they do it right, or you embezzle something where the rest of the mass is supposed to enjoy. Yes, tentatively you go enjoy, your family then will enjoy, but God not partial. I don't care even if not to yourself, your family then get unwanted. Somebody get for pay for that price there. Yes. Where the too much sometimes I can say the too much things that what they do, too much bad things that what they do. God they use some natural disaster then some day for caution we. Some things that they meet we. You know, that's a signs of God. God they exist. 99.9 Sierra Leone, in my opinion, believes that God they exist. So why we need to think that some of the things that way happen to we now God they try for 1 week. Corruption is about it not only starts from it not only get to the top of the government, but it come back to the masses there under. Your point of view no more, you get for be say the head, the leader, you get for lead by precedent. You get for come, you take power, you meet somebody in a position, you be rational enough, say, okay, if I switch this particular person here so in a position, for that put somebody else there. That means now unemployment now they create for that person there. That person they get in family. You get for sacrifice. Okay, you know the Nami party, but let's set bright example. And they keep you in this position here so despite the fact that you know the Nami party.
Obviously.
You know?
Yes.
I'm not gonna come and switch you say because you know the Nami party somebody else for candy for me to can't wait and say no. I put you in a position, me appoint you, you do something, I make the public know say, hey, XYZ don't do something wrong. Outrightly, everybody for no say, I don't want this person here so again. You take them, pull that person in the office. Then an example, precedent. You don't set precedent. It don't matter whose kind of position it be. It don't matter what's in the party affiliate. But you go see some people and they talk say, even sometimes somebody not get the right qualification, they talk say, oh, we party don't kind of power. And they go yonder, they go take position. That's not how it's supposed to be. You get people and they wouldn't be done there. The time wouldn't be done there. Maybe even if not sentiments and the kind of experience they be done there. Let that person continue. Fair way for create another position and compensate. If not compensate, you want compensate for the other. Where they be a leader not for everybody. A leader is not, and I'm not saying this to be clear enough. I didn't say this for the party within our power. It can be back the other way. Everything come back now, the same thing back it go be. We'll not pull every medeman or any what is a tribalistic something or SLP come back. It doesn't have to be that way. You know, now somebody get for sacrifice. Yes, you might get a lot of people that wouldn't not like you, maybe even within your own party, but you get for set that precedent say this year, Leona, for we all. If we do something, if we work right, we country is too so small, we resources then too vast we all not go able to enjoy.
Yes,
we all supposed to be able to enjoy. We population very, very, very small compared to the wealth we get now we nation. So it starts off from here that the leaders then get to do something. The people them, you get to begin think. We get to begin think. What am I sacrifice? What I don't make for this country? I don't get for benefit. I don't need for benefit directly from them. But before you remember, life short. We they get carried away by these day-to-day activities. Before you remember, we all gonna be gone. And then people are going to remember, hey, what do you do for this country? What do you Papa do for this country? And sometimes just they turn more, but let government left we, let government this, let government that. Government not going to solve everybody's problem. Government not going to solve anybody's problem. You said a part of the government. You daily actions then contribute towards the welfare of the nation. You know, so me appeal for everybody. The professor, in a nutshell, for summarize my point, the professor where he can he fine. But think about it. We don't get from the 90s when Donkey and Candy. Recently we get Mufti Mek Gode. These are all they don't preach. Like if somebody be outrightly say back, we know some of the problems them. You know. Yes, it's fine for they get that educational thing there, but that enough for the elites because the layman probably out there within at the village or where they do something, you know, that's how within the professor they say. You know? Now for the government, then they get for no, somebody get for willingly, they get for be able to touch the moral part of people and for me them be able to do the right thing. You know? So now my small contribution and what I make I'm glad for Una initiative and I pray that Una stay independent and fight whatever resistance for Pasadena for be sided in our operations.
Amen, amen, amen. Thank you so much, Bakar. You make so much sense. We get for go to the humanity, to the morals of humanity. That's a fight we have to fight, but it gets take the individual, your morals. I will get for bring Kutubu, but after this caller, we take this caller, then we bring Kutubu come because Boku caller they don't make them comments. We want for you what you get for say and how you put all things together. We say thank you to the caller. Wait, don't wait. Waiting are you name and who shall they call from, please? Hello, caller. Hello, Aisata. Who shall they call from again? Thank you to the caller. Wait, don't wait. Waiting name and who shall they call from, please? Hello, Aisata. Okay, Aisata, good evening. Who shall they call from and where you are of much party stock this night? Hello, Aisata.
Yeah, okay. I think they line me the Hamburg. Good evening and thanks to everybody on the show.
Yes, good evening, my sister.
Just want for
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So addition to this corruption thing, in addition to all waiting that they put in place now, I believe in one thing where we would say prevention is more better than cure. I think say like where the world try for fight infection, where they say okay for one hand it could be a simple solution, but it could go a long way. So like if you prevent them from the source, it's like it go even much better than you know like where the cure. So like to me, I think so we government able for looking to like teach we back the beginning, like for start from the source, for let them incorporate honesty and corruption prevention classes. When we start like from class 5, at class 5, most beginning get sense now enough for understand. If you don't understand, I better say then they go the area, then they go class 6, class 7, and let we continue till we go from 5. Let we come up, people then come up with way how we go write, make this as a subject in school. So that if we don't begin to teach picking them from where they're small about morals and the benefit where honesty they bring out to we all as a nation, it will be much better than with the old people that are accountable because they're not even effective. The reason why they're not effective is because even the people where they ask people and say where they hold them people and they're accountable, they as well also their hand are not clean. So that kuyu business is not good for them. We can go as far back, we will waste resources, people then just go to accumulate grudges, a lot of complications there with that thing there. It can come across as if me do you, you do me, and it's not effective too much to me. we can do we best if find all within and they put so in place because we can forget to start. But while they do that now for carrying on what waiting don't happen in the 60s and waiting where we not even know about, let we go back again. Let we start from the grassroots so that the one that now where they can after with generation can be a better, will be in a better position for handle this corruption thing because nobody know nobody not clean at that country. Nobody not will say corrupt. Everybody corrupt. Everybody guilty. So me on take on the
thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. And to back that what you say, I think the president in speech today, a talk of that say for beginning classes on social service classes and classes them and things them when they teach, when they get like a course where people then they take on them kind of moral and ethics and all that stuff. So the government, you there on point, the government self they on point. So thank you. This is a voice of Sierra Leone, but let we bring Mr. Kutubu, the professor, aka the professor, because we get we honorary degree now as PhD professor because he gets a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge about the governance and Sierra Leone. So let me bring you in, Mr. Koroma, and make you add all that they don't say.
Okay, I want to thank every contributor towards the debate. Very robust and very engaging. Again, at this in politics we call participative democracy. We all become talkers. Geared towards, helping the country or chart a cause, a way forward, a new approach. For be honest with you, I did take perhaps I want to take another approach to look a bit unusual in how I did try for look at how we solve the problem.
Okay.
I always and I will continue for talk this one there. Any side we meet at a look at waiting the work. And waiting the work, I will try rush car go na me own place so if we say we wait for 200 years and more for be like United States, it will take we until Osama bin Laden come back for be president of the United States. If such possibility there. So what we need we need for extrapolate the correct things and then apply. Okay, go. We don't come up with all the solutions, but I can tell everybody everything that people they know postulate so tonight say that the panacea of fed corruption, believe me not to the answer that. Straightforward, I can tell you not to the answer that. In the United States, you don't need to be an honest man for holy government. You don't need to be an honest man. You don't need to be a man of integrity for whole office. You need to be any honest man for be president of the United States. Anybody can be anything. Waiting they know, and I'm not helping, and so other people they don't know this. They don't know. All you need for do no more, just step over the law small bit. Then you know, waiting they call honesty or integrity of people. Then you know that you can be anything. Then you party, they let the car vote for you. That's not on you. The way of that. But now one thing you know, when you cross the line, when you care, they say thank God, not in a one God 90, not to thank God, a one God 90. If anybody not believe this, then they ask Mr. Trump, what did Mr. Trump they go through? So in other words, having said that, the return of therefore how we come together for before, again, we the result for say we, the nation will believe in the rule of law. We now will be an animal farm. We not will be a free for all. I mean, everybody for itself, God for all mentality. No, we cannot. It's not going to work. We the resolve say we they be a nation of law, not a nation of man. In that nobody elect they say you thought pass anything at the law, thought pass you. The law thought pass you. Anyhow you look at, if anybody not believe again, ask Mr. Donald Trump. Go ask Mr. Richard Nixon, the 37th president of the United States, waiting people in an office. It not be anywhere close to the Watergate complex. It not be did it. And no evidence so the way the leader say he did it. But guess what? Right inside the Oval Office that it show people that have violated the laws of the United States. Now get out of office. That's all. Now the only solution that we could talk from January to December, morning to night. Oh no, do this. No get any lectures in the class. No get Professor Sabi all. And not if you can't say, no, go through corruption. Oh, that's not to the answer. That the answer is we get for result for being a nation of laws. And the laws then as such, nobody you not big for the laws, your office not big for them. Everybody else they submit under the law. Everybody they go under. So everybody will all go under the laws will go for corruption. Now make us say anybody can hold any office there. They don't even want to care what you be. They hold the office. But what we tell you, you break the law, now you will find out. So now we reply that make us that the one size fits all answer now don't be true. Everybody else will not talk on this here. Let everybody agree with me, say, let we all submit to the rule of law. Now that will go before. So I turn back to him.
I love that. I love that the one size fits all. One size fits all. That's why I say now, the professor. One size fit all. Say the law gave for work until the law work, until the law is independent and separate, until the law all people are responsible a country of laws. You say we go do all kind of thing. People but if people break the law get for grip them. The law for be fair, unity, freedom, and justice for all. That's the coat of arms of Sierra Leone. So the law is very, very important because thinking about it, and you make a point where I laugh, where you say, and you say, thank God. But when the law all you, especially this side of the world, then Sayawo friend will say so. When the law all you, they don't say now one God, they know to thank God. I like that part say, I make a laugh. But in all seriousness, we get for fun in anything we get for fun something we go make for release the tension, for release the stress, corruption a cancer. And the conversation is going on online. The Facebook people are chatting. And one thing we caught me eye, where Alfred Williams been say a little bit a while ago, he say it is difficult to fight it when it's used as a weapon against few or political differences. If you get political, if they use them as a weapon, and how you go fight corruption, because then they go say, oh, now this, oh, then that. When they use it as a weapon, it is not going to fight. You use them, like you said, the law. When you do something wrong, the law is there to hold you. You get for account to the law, and then they go deter people them. And we're not going to still take that side. They say you moral character come in place because you, as you can always say, you get people them. We had men of integrity. We don't dare Sierra Leone. We don't say, especially the judiciary section, men of integrity. We don't serve Sierra Leone with without fear or favor. When they don't deal with the law of Sierra Leone, the constitution part, the law of Sierra Leone, the judiciary side of Sierra Leone. For apply them, we've been getting men and we they pray God and we they hope say with this new endeavor where the governments don't take this direction where then they go with the president in speech, with bringing somebody come, with applying the law, like where you don't say let the law work. Let the law work for everybody, free and fair. You do something regardless of your position, regardless of your financial status. The law therefore be fair to all. And until then, it go kind of difficult. And I like that. So I don't know if you get anything else to add to the conversation. If you get anything else.
Well, that's what nobody added. In fact, what to do? No, I want to put the president to task. No, put the president. They prove to us he actually believe in this. You know how for them?
Okay.
Let ask the president, say, Mr. President, go lead on with your own conscience. Ask yourself, who say you don't ever see in any democratic society the majority now don't grab power. I mean, the minority now don't grab power, then the majority now in the door. Show it that place. I mean, I bring this back and let you look the composition of parliament. Let you actually tell we this corruption what they try for fake now, or they tell why on earth SFP now forget speaker, but APC within at the majority not get speaker. Let's start that first. No, look there. As we try for the corruption, no, why actually in good conscience, what will tell you? I will not care how the guys in kind of parliament to not to them. More even assume infractions of principles we are committed. Let's gravitate towards that there we are infractions of principles at the conduct of elections. We do have mechanisms. What should have happened? Those guys should have taken their place in the seat, and there's what they call election petitions. Out of election petitions, and it becomes expedient that those guys actually committed infractions of principles, electoral principles. Those guys will be asked out of parliament, but they should never have prevented those guys from taking their places before applying the law. They should never. The law always comes first. In a situation where the law is relegated to the dustbin, what you see is a situation of anarchy, chaos, disorder, and all of these things. So until we return to basic, it is just going to be rhetoric, propaganda hype, and noise speaking. So that's what I'd like to leave.
Well, like you said, this is not the voice of Sierra Leone. I'm from Kutubu Imot. This is how he feel. This is how he look at what had happened. The past electing the parliament, the speaker of the house, and in Kutubu opinion from the stuff we happened. This is how he feel, and he has said it. This is the voice of Sierra Leone. That's what makes it so good. Everybody in voice, they come, he gets in your view, getting perception, he puts her out there from the facts, then again opinion. There are facts where they go with, then he puts your opinion out there for supporting facts. So this is the voice of Sierra Leone, and I think we don't done for tonight. And I say thank you to all our viewers, all the contributions, all the conversations. Una thank you. For the Bundu say, let us all come together to save Sierra Leone from the cancer of corruption. There are many, everybody they give in yon, everybody they give in your way, how for fix this corruption. The president don't come with yon, they go bring people and come. People then disagree, some people then say it's not necessary, some people then say necessary, but the fact is we all in the government and we all get a responsibility. And one of the ways then what we've been talk of the last time say we for begin, I think was a caller that called in say we for begin shame these people, we for begin record video, we get for try, we work on that behind the scenes and try what we go come up with for help for fight corruption. We get for begin shame them. We get for begin get video evidence. We get for begin because corruption, for the longest time, the president's speech, I hope said it's not just rhetoric. I'm glad for him where he talk that way. The way he talk, if he do what he say, now in speech, Salone go better. Salone go before. We want for this Salone go before. It's not just talk, it's to put your talk to action. Now that day we all they pray God for, because for the longest time, like he said, the people of Sierra Leone, they suffer because of corruption. And he say corruption and national security threat. He say it go make without everybody will corrupt, then go hold on to the law without any fear or favor. That word they are the olam. Fear or favor, I come from the president in March. So the president don't talk up. Me, I feel say, like some people they will say they're not for being bring Professor Lumumba. I believe say they are people of influence. When you have people of influence, sometimes you get for put them people and they let them can't talk. Okay, yes, we country they pan. Some people go argue, say, yes, the country not supposed to use that kind of money there. We don't know how much that the money they pay. We don't know if it do it for free. We don't know. But this is just accusation where they out there on social media. This is just, we don't know if it's a propaganda, we don't know if it's a fact. People then put her out there. Then talk of them. We don't know how much they pay. It can be say it can for free. It can be say it pay. You know, some people they look and say a waste of money. Some people then say it's worth it. So we they try for make salon go before. Sometimes it's necessary to spend a little bit, but sometimes it's unnecessary. So we don't know how much, we don't know the cost, but we tell God thank you, they don't begin talk on corruption. And we want to see result, and we hope say in order for just go against certain thing, because like I say, corruption, when they call you name, anti-corruption call you name, you take your paperwork, you get all what you been done, you can go. We can go there, rope go draw bush kind of tongue. That's in there. All man go come on a door, will be waiting and call him. They find you guilty, then can you go? But corruption, not a good thing for salon. Corruption, now I make them like see they will not get good hospital. Corruption, now I make them like see they we picking them school them broke. Corruption, I make people them bag rest right now. We don't go almost for cop. All that the corruption. The people safe, we safe get for work, but we safe. We save them for use, we mind, we aid, we get for change the way what they think. And together, we not get for look party. Like how they say election done. They say when we begin the program today, Kutubu talk about, they say we all get this one fabric where we say no, we put salon first. Do we really mean that? Or we just say them because of lip service, or just we really mean them. If we really mean them, go search your conscience, go search your soul. What am I doing to contribute to corruption? What are they do for encourage somebody? And I've been talking, I come off Freetown in September, I've been go Freetown August. One of the things that I was really impressed about was the airport. And put on there no bribery zone, and not forgive bribe, and then not for ask me for bribe. And you know, that was one of the things when you go inside the airport, nobody know they harass you. Then just say, you know, you they take you to, you make your stuff, you go about your business. If you want get tip, if you want sorry for somebody, then are on you. But you're not supposed to pay nobody nothing where you know that all that bribe and corruption. For let you pass with your box safe, they want you give them. For let you make sure they want you give them. For let you show your passport, they want, then they pull money in a hand and they squeeze you take. No, like Kutubu say, outside the entire cow, bring your own grass like I eat and not go eat the grass where they mean for all man for eat for the country for push and go before. So this is a social media review. We say thank you, Mr. Kutubula, bring you say last word, and then I will say good night, Tona, and I say thank you, and we'll left on again with the president's speech because I want some they want the way miss in the beginning. Now we end up with that speech day again. Now I hear what the president talk, take to heart, go with Dande. What will I do to help improve Sierra Leone? What can I do? Let we go with that today. Let we go with that thought. What you go able to do? What you go do? If na small size organization, you put $1, you put 5 cents. Sometimes it's not all about money. You can go, you educate your people then because they get forget the mindset. They get for change their mind. The change, renewal of the mind, emancipate yourself from that slavery and what they call change is very, very difficult. Change is scary. Change is hard. Some people go push back where change comes, but change is good. Change is good. Change is good. Sometimes we need change, and it's gonna take resistance, but it can happen. Let all believe for Salone. I love you all, and thank you so much. And we'll come back next week. All week we get show them what Salone business. When I come now, we can talk about Salone business because I make with the talk Creole at this station because we don't want to speak English. We also be speak English, but we want for let the local man understand. So with this na Salone program, so we the talk Creole. So till next week, I will come back with social media review, and I thank you all. God bless you. And let Kutubugi in last word, and then we go left now with the president in speech again. Good night. I love you all, and remember, God is love. God bless you. Thank you. Kutubu.
Thanks. At the hop on the president's speech as a way of closing this debate tonight.
Yes.
I find the debate very useful, very academic, and very motivating. Again, I want the president, if he actually sincere, mean what he talk, not to rhetoric, not to propaganda hype. Let it start off. Let it disclose to the citizens of Salone what he been declared of certain force. Let it make an asset very open. Me not see why anybody, especially a public official, for make a secret declaration. Because the thing is, we for know what you get now. So by the time they left, we go know to them, so that we don't go need for go to that great mathematical philosopher, how you call it, Euclid. We don't go to Euclid for they come do the addition and subtraction for. Okay, we shall go do the math. So let the president start here now. Let lead by example. They can talk, and as Koroma talking, a lot of fine thing there. The speeches, we are so egalitarian. Talk about agenda for prosperity. This for that, attitudinal change. This for that. We hear all the talk they did. But at the end of the day, what will happen? We still serve that the abyss of annihilation that they will still serve. That they be called to see himself. The president don't come, they don't go to, they don't even bring somebody else. Let again aside with some people that we talk, so will not be need for bring people. Maybe living by example. The president say, you know what? Me, we don't cancel. What I want to see an egalitarian and just society where every Salonean will be proud. Say that my own contribution is, I therefore do within the context of what you go before. Well, look, now this to me be get to you ask the hand that bamba. But if you wrap on a brand envelope, you can't go. We don't know which you don't care go. Today, tomorrow, how we know say this way we get now, it commensurate with what you be care go. So, me want advice to politicians it's not only the president, as we try for lay out structures, a foundation they'll start with a tangible, empirical, things that we very empirical, things that we very tangible. For example, don't stay away from this rhetoric because me, I don't believe in them. I don't like slogan. They say, okay, this is where I'm going to start. Gentlemen, all the ministers, everybody declare their asset. Hopefully, we all see them. So don't begin to take account of it. So don't begin to minimize the corruption. Then again, let the president decide, let he understand one thing, see. He not get legislative power in a salon. Nobody not get. Now executive power he get. Meaning that the actions get for be subject to the parliament. So or they are not exercise power, we not get. Other than part of corruption, we exercise power, we not get. So when we do all that thing there, then you go say, oh yes, we are on demand. But if we don't do that, we just talk to them for let people they make all the flowery statement, then egalitarian statement them for election purposes. Some of we, they stick with it. So I thank everybody for coming tonight. Mm-hmm. And then also make a clear call to the audiences. So we understand the emotions, but don't just calm down. Don't not come with emotion. What also it defeat the purpose, of what you come for now. It will really defeat that. Even if they talk against me, for example, one man can accuse me of being very corrupt, which is fine. I not say it really don't mean that just out of other column. Because if I ask and I say, well, bring the empirical evidence there, for people say I don't engage in corruption, don't go bring them. But I mean, more than anyway, I can understand it was just adding. I know say it really don't mean them. So I want to use this for a picture with brother and sister them. Let's make this place a home away from home. Let's make a place where all the kind of no clever mama service not in a one man I know pass everybody. We say where the representatives say we say one land from people there. Me particularly Kutubu one land from people there. That they tell anybody are open to that. So but we only do it in an atmosphere of collegiality, atmosphere of respect, and understanding, give and take. Until then, you guys have a very pleasant good night.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So now listen to the president's speech. I love you all. God bless Sierra Leone. We all go see Salone go before because me, I not go die Salone no better. I must see Salone go before. I love you all. Night, Sierra Leone. I love you all.
Mr. Kago, don't forget to, I depend on you for that thing. So that way I know do any broadcast there.
What are you looking at?
You are so gorgeous. Your skin, so lovely. Clean, sunny, and natural.
Do you stress out about your skin? Do you freak out when you break out? Well, help is on the way. Try Shaw's Creations organic body products. Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? will try Shaw's Creations organic body products. My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
You look great.
I look healthy.
Shaw's Creations organic body product.
SALONE Broadcasting Corporation. The 9th of December every year is observed as International Anti-Corruption Day, and Sierra Leone this year is also joining the rest of the world to fight against corruption. Well, here is a statement by His Excellency the President Julius Maada Bio in commemoration of International Anti-Corruption Day.
Fellow citizens, in Sierra Leone, those who indulge in corruption see it as a source of wealth, a source of privilege, and a route to or a demonstration of power that they often abuse. Much more worrying is that across the country, political leaders and ordinary citizens engage in corruption shamelessly and with arrogance and impunity. Corruption in all its forms has a cost. It has real human victims when critical infrastructure like hospitals and schools are not built, and when citizens are denied their rights and equitable access to service delivery. Credible foreign and local investors whose investments create good paying jobs for citizens avoid corrupt countries. Corruption also stalls economic development, compromises ethical conduct and national values, and violates the fundamental rights of citizens. Above all, corruption undermines democratic institutions of government and the stability of a country. For the foregoing reasons, corruption is a national security threat. During the election campaign, I strongly advocated that we fight and fight relentlessly against corruption. Immediately after winning the presidency, I kept my promise to the people of this country by setting up a governance transition team to review the governance landscape we are taking over. Their report identified serious deficiencies in governance, financial management, and accountability. They advised thorough forensic audits and the setting up of an independent commission of inquiry. The legislature has now ratified the setting up of an independent commission of inquiry that will work thoroughly, independently, and transparently. As president, I also appointed a new, young, and vibrant leadership at the Anti-Corruption Commission, who has injected new energy, increased public confidence, and restored faith in the Anti-Corruption Commission. Therefore, it is refreshing that this year, Sierra Leone has passed the Control of Corruption indicator in the Millennium Challenge Corporation scorecard, scoring 71%. We have moved 22% upwards, moving from 49% last year. This is the country's highest score in the Control of Corruption indicator since the introduction of the MCC scorecard in 2004. If we are to develop as a nation, we must draw a line under the perverse, arrogant, and reckless looting of the state. Corruption is a fight we must win. It is a fight we will win. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, a few days ago, the International Monetary Fund also gave Sierra Leone a resounding vote of confidence by bringing us back into program. They recognize our compliance with a series of program-requested reforms, such as the Treasury Single Account, legislation on revenue from the extractive industry, and the removal of much abused fuel subsidies and duty waivers, among others. We went beyond their requests by undertaking other economic reform initiatives, including the biometric verification of public workers, the introduction of a transparent fleet management policy, and a deeper and close look at procurement processes. International partners who had withheld budgetary support from the past government, such as the European Union, DFID, the World Bank, and the African Development Bank, have now indicated their confidence in our credible management of the economy by reinstating budgetary support. We are ready to do more as a government, and we are going to do more. We have strengthened the hand of the ACC to investigate and prosecute cases of corruption without fear or favor, in accordance with all existing anti-corruption laws. We will use international anti-corruption agreements to ensure that persons who steal Sierra Leone government funds have no places to hide or enjoy their ill-gotten wealth. We are undertaking reforms that will bring more predictability and transparency about business processes, taxes, costs, and the business climate in Sierra Leone. We will continue to deploy science, technology, and innovation to leverage greater transparency. Early successes encourage us to expand its use from a biometric census that has unmasked 10,000 ghost workers to dozens of missing government vehicles. Greater emphasis on corruption and ethics education through such courses as social studies in schools will help orient our next generation to their obligations with regards to corruption. Ethics and integrity training for our public service officials will be instituted with a view to minimizing instances of corruption. Hospitals and public institutions must craft service delivery charters and mission statements that state clearly their obligations to the public and display the cost of services and expected services. Fellow citizens, fighting corruption and supporting the fight against corruption, no matter who is involved in corruption, is good for Sierra Leone and every Sierra Leonean. I thank you for listening, and may God bless this, our great republic.
What are you looking at?
You!
You are so gorgeous. Your skin, so lovely, clean, sunny, and natural.
Do you stress out about your skin? Do you freak out when you break out? Well, help is on the way. Try Shaw's Creations organic body products. Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? We'll try Shaw's Creations organic body products. My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
You look great.
I look healthy.
Shaw's Creations organic body products.
September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control on the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.
My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
For hands and feet corrections, try Shaw's Creations. For skin protection, try Shaw's Creations. For blemishes, scars, burns, and blisters, try Shaw's Creations. For skin rashes like acne, psoriasis, eczema, try Shaw's Creations. Because at Shaw's Creations, we guarantee results within 6 weeks or your money back.
Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? Try Shaw's Creations organic body products.
Shaw's Creations give you that smooth, glowing, healthy looking skin. Try it today. Shaw's Creations.